Good morning, everybody. My name is Maria Bearcat, and we're going to get started. This is the Small Business Goal Setting and Digital Marketing Series for 2018. We are currently working on the process of the buyer's journey or the buyer experience, and we change the topics every single week. So I'm a small business marketing strategist, and basically what that means is that I work with businesses to help them to implement a digital marketing strategy. I do that mainly through the buyer's journey, but I also do other goal setting. If you are new to the call and you haven't downloaded these documents, you can go to the website and go to resources. It also comes in the email that reminds you to be here and then also follows up and gives you the information. It's important for me to do this, and I give it away because I get great feedback and I help people, and that's really my primary goal. I am in business, but I also want to empower small businesses around the country to do what they need to do. So that's just part of it. Today, we're going to review our goals. We're going to map out that buyer's journey, and we're going to talk about the purchase process, consideration and conversion, very critical. And we're going to talk about the problems that people experience, why they don't convert, why they don't buy. And then we're going to review our weekly questions, and we're going to focus on the critical weekly question that impacts purchases. So here are our key core small business documents. Everyone should have these. Everyone should be using them. It's just so important to have it. I can't even tell you. Goal setting, that's what it's all about. You need to have goals. You need to set them. You need to have this business plan done in order to really set good business goals. That's really important. The customer journey, the customer experience. Most people view them as the same thing. It is part of what we're talking about these last couple of weeks. The touch points that people go through to discover and research. You know, I have a problem, I need to buy something. That's the journey that we take, right? The experience is how we feel about the journey. And I love the emojis because that's really how we're all sort of identifying in the digital age, you know, is thumbs up, thumbs down. And this is really important for you as a business owner to understand how we're feeling when we buy things and measuring that and what expectations are versus what we actually feel, and then adding it all up, which is what the buyer's journey really does. So this is a great description of what people think about the buyer's journey, how they have a problem, the steps they take to research it, if it's confusing, looking at reviews and comparing. It's a normal part of the process. And then the actual decision to make a purchase, which is what we're going to talk about today, and whether or not people call them back, and then what do they do. The confusing parts of this journey are something that we as business owners sometimes don't pay attention to because this is our business and we live and breathe it every day. If you have employees standing behind a counter, they live and breathe it every day. But how your customers feel about it is something very different. And you need these reviews. This is what the buyer's journey looks like. They become aware they have a problem. They become aware of you. They do their research. They get their short list. They decide to buy. They go in. They make that process. And then they experience the product, the purchase. And then they advocate for you. And this is important advocacy, because if you don't have people leaving you positive reviews, then you're not bypassing the whole running an ad. So when you end your buyer's journey at the purchase and you don't focus on the experience and the advocacy part, you're always in a cycle, around and around. You don't want to do that. You want to let people talk about you and make them aware that you exist. They become aware of their own problems. They have research and discovery. This is completely related to your content. We talked about it last week. We're going to focus on it again in a couple of weeks. And today we're going to talk about what we consider when we buy. This is the section that we are on. And what's unique about the purchasing section is that many times, not always, this is the first time we have a human interaction in today's world. We are armed with a lot of information before we call you or reach out or come to the store. And it's not always true in every business, but it's usually when there's some kind of human interaction going on. And so you need to be really aware of that as you're looking at it. These are some Google numbers that really involve a lot of small businesses, but how empowered is the person that comes in to buy from you? So 75% of them know the price. 74% of them know that there's something else pretty close. If you're not nice, they're going to go somewhere else. They know the locations. They know all the details about you. They have maps, hopefully, showing where you are. And they want information. So when they come in, even though they're acting dumb, they're not. They know. So keep this in mind when people come into your store, unless they legitimately say, wow, I didn't even know this existed. Purchasing. So at this stage, like the picture shows, we have a person there. Sometimes that person is on a chat. Sometimes they're on the phone. It's human interaction. The customer has made a short list. Last week we had a short list. We knew these met my criteria, my budget, my needs. Now we've got our money in our hand and we're going to go in and we're going to buy. And there's this digital and non-digital interaction. So we want to know. So if we have an appointment, are you going to remind me of the appointment? Are you going to tell me where to park? Are you going to do all this stuff? So all this is calculating in our heads. And we're determined to solve our problem. We know what we want. It's up to you to ask. Don't assume that they don't know anything. And I can't stress this enough in the purchase process, especially in an industry like this is, maybe a realtor, a financial consultant, insurance agent, a preschool director. When a buyer comes in and you make the assumption that they need all of your knowledge, you could be making a mistake. You need to ask more questions because you don't want to offend them, right? They're still considering their options. So they still know the other location up the street. So if you kind of annoy them, they may say, you know what, we have to think about it. And then they leave and they go somewhere else. So they want to make a decision, but they also want to have a good experience from you. So if you don't know what it feels like to buy from your business, you need to learn that. So at the moment of purchase, this is the first possible problem that you can have. 78% of people have changed their mind about which retailer or brand to buy from. And this is after going on Google, right? So for those online purchases, if I'm there and it freezes up or something happens or it goes away for some reason, or it doesn't take my credit card, or it keeps telling me I have to register and I'm frustrated, guess what? I have other tabs open. So I don't need to buy from you. There's a lot of choice. There's a lot of choice out there. So this is that first problem that you can encounter. The second set of problems are, we all know them, right? The website freezes. We call, we get voicemail. Nobody calls us back, right? The phone line gets disconnected. This is, ugh. Sometimes that's out of your control, so it's how you handle it afterwards. A line in the store is not a problem as long as you're being acknowledged, right? Looking at this picture, do you think that somebody said, hey, sir, I see that you're looking at your watch. I'm so sorry. I called in for extra help. We'll be right there. No. You can tell by every single person's face that nobody's acknowledging that they're even there. The salesperson isn't nice. Or worse, they're not even paying attention to you. How many times have you walked into a store where they're doing something and they don't even acknowledge that you're there, right? Or they're right on top of you because they think you're going to steal something. I mean, that's a terrible thing. Inventory issues, misinformation. So if the employee doesn't know that there's a promotion going on, or that it's free shipping, or that something is happening, or it's out of stock, or the website's wrong, the description is wrong. How many times has that happened to you, right? So this is a problem. At this moment, how does your buyer feel, right? You have to plot this out, because I'll tell you why. This point of purchase is the most important point. because it's permanent. So maybe I didn't find you, then I found you, and then the information was lost and you didn't send it to me. So I'm going up and down in the process. But now that I've made up my mind, I'm expecting and I have a perception of what's going to happen. And even though I will buy from you, whatever I feel during that interaction is how it's going to be reflected as an advocate or an adversary. I'm not going to forget that it was difficult. And so you really, really need to think about this step. And if you lose sales, even more so, you need to find out what it is that's making them leave so that you can fix it. So what are buyers thinking? How easy is this to purchase online? We live in the Amazon age. Amazon does things free, fast. They have great customer service. All of their employees are empowered. And we think about that. Now, I don't expect every business to be Amazon, but I do have that mentality in my mind. I want to know who can help me. And I don't want to have to guess. I want it clear. So if you have a checkout page on your website, it needs to say, you having a problem? Call me, right? Is it exactly what I wanted? That's that experience where something comes, it's not what you wanted, it's in the wrong color, there's something not right. Does this salesperson even know what they are talking about? Many times we can go into a business and we will find out that the salespeople are not even aware that something's in inventory, that they, I've even been to places where they're like, we don't even sell that. You need to make that clear. And how are they being treated? They're thinking about it. They want to know. They want to know if they made a mistake. Did I misunderstand something? Did I read something wrong? Was my homework not enough to make this decision? How am I feeling about this? It's important. This process has to be seamless because when it gets to the end, if I'm confused, if I'm mad, or I'm happy, it's going to reflect in the end. And it's really hard to change people's minds, even when the experience is awesome, even when it comes with a special gift or you gave them free shipping. It's very hard to replace this feeling to get them to talk about you. And if you're not getting people to talk about you, you have a problem most likely in these two areas because something's not right. And so you really have to think about it, what's happening. Now, every week we reflect. You need to reflect on this. That's why it's divided up into a week. You need to really look at the types of interactions that your customers have when they purchase from you. And if you don't know, then you need to call your customers and not your best ones. Call the ones that didn't repurchase from you and ask them. You need to look at the digital experience. Is the site fast? Is it clear? Is it easy to check out? Is there support there? What's going on? And then the human interaction. Are you training your people? Are they prepared to do their job? And are they empowered? We don't want to be transferred 5 times. We don't want to have the boss call us back. We don't want you constantly telling us that you're going to get back to us with that information. Even if you're the only place on the block, we're going to talk about you poorly. So you may have my money, but you're not going to get any of my family and friends. And that hurts you in the long run. So you need to think about that. So which weekly question impacts the purchasing stage? First of all, how many new emails did you add to the list? This is your gold mine. Emails equal sales. What were your total sales for the week? What sells? What doesn't sell? You need to understand that. Did every employee know about your promotion or your Facebook ad? This is critical. It's critical to the purchasing process because if I know, I can help someone better. That's very important. How many new fans did you add this week? What was your most popular piece of content? This can really help you in your marketing strategy. Your most engaged follower, most likely it's the same people over and over again. So why are there not other ones? So it's a good way to look at it. And then how are you improving your customer service? or your customer experience. It's very important. Next week, we're going to spend more time. This is a short, purchasing is short, but experiencing is long. So we're going to talk about the actual delivering of the product or service, how they feel in that, and how you develop customer-centric teams, because the experience is where you really can include your team in on that, and it can really help you to grow your business. So I hope you enjoyed this week. I look forward to talking with you. Your feedback is awesome. We really got some good suggestions, and we're going to be impacting it. You'll get a recap of this message, and I wish you all an incredible week. Thanks.